Hi, I'm Stavros. Good morning and welcome to Kartworld here in Watergrasshill, County Cork in Ireland. I'm here today to check out this Tillotson Racing T4 Series kart. So I might even get a spin in this car today, guys. These are quick. So there are various categories of karts out there. So this is just one particular category that we're going to be learning about today. So by the end of this video, you're going to know so much more about karts. I mean, I'm only just learning myself, guys. But it should be a bit of fun. Let's check it out. The Tillotson T4 Racing Series. Okay, I'm now joined by Andrew Fallon. Andrew, thank you very much for having me here today. You're going to fill us in on everything people know about the kart.
Yes, basically the new Tillotson T4 kart, we've developed it in Ireland for first year we're racing it in Ireland, but it's going to be exported all over the world. Tillotson, we manufacture the carburetor in Tralee. It's our core business, but we've partnered with a chassis manufacturer to produce the chassis. We produce the engine in our manufacturing facility in China, and overall we've put together a package which we want to promote an affordable karting category, to basically promote karting not only in Ireland but all across the world. We want to have an entry-level category that's affordable, fun to drive, and basically trying to grow the sport, because it's an expensive sport for a lot of people. Yeah. But having this concept, we're really aiming to grow the sport.
And Andrew, can you just explain to people like the weight of this kart, and because there are different weight categories for different size engined karts, isn't that right?
Yeah, for sure. So this the overall weight for this category is 155 kilograms. We've set the weight to kind of suit everybody from 15 years plus. So, you know, even drivers like my colleague Mark French, who you'll see in a moment. Right. He is 34 years old, I think, or no, he's older. Yeah, so everybody can race, and that's the aim, and we want to. Like,
Andrew, there's six-year-olds racing these, isn't there?
I mean, there's 5 and 6 year olds racing, starting at that age, and they grow and they go into the higher categories, and this is a senior category for 15 years plus, and we will be developing a junior category also. So for now, we're really trying to grow the senior competition, but everybody can race from pretty much all ages.
And Andrew, this is a 4-stroke engine. Now you can get 2-stroke as well.
Correct. Yeah, there's many categories. The 2-stroke competition is kind of the higher level racing. It's a little more expensive. It's the idea for us with the 4-stroke, it's low maintenance, it's more reliable,
environmentally friendly.
Exactly, yeah, you said it. There's a number of benefits, and it's really to reduce the cost. The 2-stroke racing is fantastic, but it is a step, it's a level up, and this is really the entry level that we want to kind of grow and improve.
And Andrew, like all of these karts are weighed before you go racing.
Every driver needs to make sure they're above the minimum weight, and if at the end of the race the weight is low, they're penalised or they're excluded because they're underweight. So there's a number of rules that everybody has to reach, so that it's a level playing field for everybody.
Yeah, and we can see the weight here hanging off. Look.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've got the lead weights on the seat. I mean, there's a number of other rules. You can only have a maximum rear width. So you need to keep it within that. There's many rules that everybody has to adhere to, but for everybody that's racing here today, they absolutely are having a ball, so it's great.
And Andrew, how many tyres are you allowed per season?
For this category, we've restricted the number of tyres. Most classes you can use 1 set per event. With us, we are using I believe it's 4 or 5 sets for the full season.
Right, and 8 races.
8 rounds, but next year we're going to revise it to actually less tyres again, again to restrict the cost. And
just for the viewers, Andrew, as well, I don't think they realise that even the tyres have barcodes on them that are scanned.
Correct, yeah. So basically, the scrutineers will scan every tyre to make sure that people aren't using more than the allocated sets of tyres. So there's a tight control with everything. It's everything has to be the same and fair for each competitor.
Yeah. And Andrew, like, how much money are you talking for the kart now for somebody starting off in this kart series?
So the retail price of the full package for the kart, the engine, tires, everything ready to race, it's €2,975.
Right.
And we have been doing an introductory price for this year for €2,750. So if there's anybody interested, give us a call.
Right. And Andrew, what was very interesting as well, I was talking to your mechanic. He said that when it's wet, when you're putting on race tires, you have to shorten the track at the back and widen the track at the front.
Yes, exactly. So
now, I'd have never thought of that. Like,
yeah, go-karts work funny in the way. Also, what we do is we put on a narrower wheel. It gives more traction. The narrower wheel gives more traction, and when we move it in narrow, we really want to stabilize the rear of the kart, because if when you put your foot on the accelerator, if it's too wide, you lose traction, and you're just gonna, you're gonna spin basically, or it's not going to grip off the corner. So in the wet, you really need to grip up the rear of the kart.
And all of the karts are timed, and that's a little transponder there.
Exactly. So there's a magnetic strip on the track, and every lap it records, so it gives everybody their lap time, and it, the first person that finishes the line first, it picks it up, so that's how it's run.
And you don't need a fuel gauge, guys. You just look at your fuel tank.
We basically, we just keep an eye on it, and we can monitor it that way. Exactly.
Yeah, but it's amazing just walking around, Andrew, all of the different karts, just to see the way the chassis are designed. There's various different designs of chassis. It's not all the same.
No, exactly. In many categories, there is an open brand chassis that you can have many different styles of chassis and different designs. In our class, we only allow the one. The reason being, it's to cut costs, because if you allow it open to many different chassis, people will, with development and everything, there's going to be a new chassis out a different year, and people will continue to invest and spend money. So we want to make it everything the same, level playing platform.
And Andrew, is it all air-cooled with 4-stroke?
Our engine is air-cooled. There are water-cooled 4-stroke engines, but typically they're a lot heavier, and they're a lot more expensive. And our engine is air-cooled, and it's more simplified.
And Andrew, what is the highest weight category of kart racing for Motorsport Ireland?
For Motorsport Ireland, the highest, I would say, maybe 170 kilograms total.
Okay.
Maybe that would be the gearbox. It could be 175, maybe. I'm not fully sure.
And then the speed, what speed are we talking?
The speed in a gearbox class could be upwards of 150 kilometers an hour, I would think.
150 kilometers an hour in a kart?
Yeah. I mean,
and then your kart then?
The T4 kart, for instance, the top speed we've reached this year was about 105 kilometers an hour, which in a go-kart is fast.
So it's about
you're so low to
65 miles an hour.
Correct. And this is an entry-level class. We don't want it to be too fast, because for the hobby guys coming into the sport, if it's too fast, it's hard to control, and it makes it physical. It makes it difficult for them to get used to it. So we don't want it to be too fast.
And this is a 225cc engine.
Exactly, yeah, 225cc.
And you can get 125s. Is there higher CCs?
Well, the two-stroke engines typically are smaller CC. They're almost all 125cc. So with us, we've gone for a 225cc, and it gives good power and drivability.
Yeah, and a bit of rubbing goes on track.
Yeah, exactly.
Things do get close.
Yeah, the first heat today was a little hairy, and everybody was getting a little close, but they all enjoyed it, I think.
And Andrew, you have 9 karts here today.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've 9 Tillotson karts out today. We've a number of guys. I mean, in the middle of July, a lot of people are away on holidays, so we've missed some drivers from the grid. Yeah. So every race we have more and more interest. The class is growing, and I think the next day we'll have a lot more drivers, which is great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So we'll talk to Mark, the driver. He will be out racing, and we'll see how he's getting on racing. But and then hopefully I'll get behind the wheel of one. I hope to bring it back in one piece, Andrew.
You better.
Otherwise I'll be running for the hills, guys.
You'll have a big bill.
Oh yeah, and we forgot to mention the wheels, Andrew, as well. So you've got aluminium and you've got titanium wheels as well, isn't that right?
Well, there's magnesium wheels as well. Yeah. We don't allow the magnesium because they're very expensive. So in our category, we only specify the aluminium, purely to keep the cost down, because to allow all the brands of wheels and the different materials, it increases the cost.
And I see you have Comet tyres, but they're not the only tyre maker.
There's multiple tyre manufacturers, and these are the tyre that we're using at the moment, and it's working really well. So.
And 4 tyres? How much are 4 tyres?
The set of price of tyres is €135 plus VAT.
135 plus VAT, guys.
Plus VAT.
Yeah. That's very good, Andrew. So we're going to see a bit of racing now, and then we'll talk to Mark, the driver, and then I'll give it a go.
Good luck.
Thanks. Okay, I'm now joined by Mark French. He's just after coming in from a race. So Mark, can you tell us about your kart? Because it differs slightly to the last one that Andrew told us about, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're going to do a slightly different interview here now with based on and focusing on the driving aspects of the go-kart. And like you've just said, I'm literally just after coming in from a race, so a little bit out of breath and a little bit tired because they're quite physical to drive these go-karts.
Mark, you have to wear this rib protection as well?
So basically, obviously, to drive the kart and part of the driver's gear, we have to have a race suit. It's a full race suit overalls, race boots. We have our helmet, which my helmet is inside. It's not here. We have a rib protector, a specialised rib protector. A lot of drivers will get these custom made.
And Mark, I noticed this gauge here, it wasn't on the last one that Andrew was talking about. You see this?
Okay, yeah, so this is our telemetry. So basically on the go-karts, all drivers, they will have their telemetry system. And what the telemetry does is, the majority of them now, they're GPS located, so it will actually draw the track. I don't know if you can see with the camera here, but the circuit was just there a second ago, and you can break the individual tracks into sectors, and then you can see your sector times, your split times, and the telemetry in this category, in our four-stroke category, the telemetry, we really only use it for RPM, for lap time and for RPM. But in other categories, you would have exhaust gas sensors, you can have water temperatures, and there's a whole array and a different variety of sensors that you can put on the karts. But again, sometimes we do have, when we're doing R&D testing, we will have temperature sensors on the heads of the engine and some other areas just to see how they're performing. But also, obviously, most importantly is your lap time. So this guy will give you your lap time and tell you whether you're up, down, or doing good or bad. Yeah,
so you can keep an eye on your lap time.
In my case, my lap time needs to improve.
But your fellow racer can't.
Yes, obviously, Stavros, I didn't win the last race, so my lap time needs to improve a little bit. Yes. We've made a few improvements and developments as the year has gone on, but 2020 is our launch for the category, and that's going to be worldwide, and we're already speaking to a lot of importers from different countries. So the whole concept is basically for a monobrand category. And a monobrand category is to have the same chassis, the same engine, carburetor, tyres, components. And if you look at this go-kart, you'll see Tillotson Racing is laser marked on all the parts, all the materials. From your back axle to your side pod bars, everything is stamped. Your chassis are numbered, your engines are numbered, your carburetors are numbered, because everybody has a level playing field. Or it's very fair. It's a very fair opportunity for driver ability and driver skill to come to the forefront. And with these karts, the development, a lot of work went into the development for it to be specifically matched with our engine and with the power band. So conventionally, a lot of go-karts, they will have different types of tubing. You'll have 28mm, 30mm, 32, and also different wall thickness, which all offer different characteristics. So if you have a faster category, or maybe we have shifter karts and other karts, they'll need a very different type of a go-kart compared to this. So this go-kart works really, really well with our engine.
And Mark, you can get these with gears as well, can't you? Yeah,
well that would be the shifter category. That's a different type of racing. But in this is direct drive. Like our four-stroke, what we do is direct drive. You have you've got your clutch. You've got your clutch and your sprocket here. So I suppose if we talk about the kart and the components that you can change within the regulations, the kart itself is fixed, the chassis. But then the material that you can actually change is you have caster camber kits. You can change the position, which will change varying levels of grip on entry into corners, mid corners. Then you can also change your widths. So you can change the front and back of the karts can be moved in and out, which will change your turn in, your grip, and will actually offer a lot of variation based on the type of track and the type of surface. And then the same with your back axle. Your back axle, you can only use one type of axle as regards the material, same for the hubs, but you can move the hubs in and out, which will change the characteristics of how the kart feels and behaves. Most importantly, probably with a category like this, is your sprocket. So basically, everyone is really running very close to the same sprocket. So you can see here, that's your axle drive sprocket, which is onto your chain, onto a very light chain, onto the front clutch of the engine. But when you go up and down the teeth, it changes the power band. So for a longer track, you go down the gearing, and it gives more speed. But when you go down in the gearing, you lose the bottom end. So out of the corners, you will lose. So it's always a trade-off. You're looking to find a good balance to have the right power out of the corner and then the right speed at the end of the straight. Again, everything else with the kart is fixed. And with the engine, as regards what you can change and the components, we have this carburetor that we've obviously specially developed for the T4 category has two adjustment jets, a low and a high needle. When you buy this engine, everyone has the very same the same piece, the same material, and it's the very same performance. But the drivability of the kart is supposed to actually the fun aspect. That's more of the technical stuff, and there is a lot of fun to play with the material to get the ultimate performance. There's a lot of driving to make it perfect and to get perfection out of the material. And I see it myself, even racing today. This other kid, there's a kid here that's 15 or 16, and he was so clean and his driving was so good. I make one or two mistakes, and it's very hard to get the time back on the track. So the racing overall is very close, 2 or 3 tenths of a second only cover most of the people in the grid, and it's also it's quite difficult to pass because everyone is very close in the speed, so it makes it challenging, it makes it fun. And like I've drove a lot of different categories, and I really enjoy driving this. It actually, there's a smile on my face every time I come in, so I do enjoy it a lot.
So that's great. Okay, Mark French.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
I'm out of breath now. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks. So this is the kart down here that I'll be racing, guys. Yes, wish me luck. Oh God, here we go, guys. Let's go. And then it was my turn to take the kart for a spin, guys. So here I am, just taking it nice and easy, heading out onto the course. I had about 2 laps just to bed myself in, and then this was my 3rd lap, so just crossing the start-finish line there. And coming up to this first bend, now you can take this bend flat out, but I just kept braking. I didn't even realise you could take it flat out in the T4 series. And then this bend, too much power going in, and there we go, spin. Great fun though. I found the limit of the kart, guys. But this other bend here, you got to take this kind of tight and then go out wide. And of course I wasn't going out wide enough, should have went out a bit wider. And then power on, keep the power going. Just clip the curve. Well, don't clip the curve, what am I saying? Just keep in tight, but stay off the curve. Again, get this power down and keep going, keep going. Full power here now. And keep going, cross the start, finish line, and then I should have been still flat out here now. But yeah, I was braking the whole time on that bend. I didn't realise you could do it flat out. And then coming up to this bend again, it was very hard to get this bend completely correct. Too much power going in, and then I just ended up going slow coming out of it. And I get this bend better this time. I go out wide, which is the way you're supposed to do it, and then keep the power down, hammer on, tight in left, stay off the curb as I said, tight right, get that power down as fast as you can, keep it going, power, power, power the whole time. And yeah, this bend, it is a kind of a hidden apex. I mean, you don't really see the apex approaching it, but until you're kind of on top of the bend. But yeah, it is taken flat out. And then coming up here, too much power again, and yeah, I spin off again. But yeah, I just felt going around some of the bends, you know, it is kind of just a bit slow to kind of get the power down, but maybe I was just going too fast into the bends. But yeah, great fun, guys. I highly recommend it. The Tillotson T4 series. Check it out. Tell them Stavros sent you and they look after you. guys, that was my spin in the Tillotson T4 series. The kart, very fast. I really enjoyed it going around the track. I did feel, Mark, it might have needed a bit more power coming out of the bend, or what?
I think the problem, Stavros, wasn't so much the power out of the bend, it was you carrying too much speed into the bend. That can be fixed the next time, don't worry.
We'll see what happens the next time, guys, but I tell you, I really did enjoy it now. It's, oh yeah, and he was telling me as well that that particular corner down the very end is actually flat out, but I was braking the whole time. But I suppose...
Look, you were one of the best guys we had in for your first time.
Oh, thanks!
Far, so I will give you that compliment. You'll be coming back.
That's nice to hear.
Very good.
Thanks, Mark. So guys, that wraps us up. A huge thanks to Tillotson for having me here today. And if you want any more information, contact Adventure Park Kartworld here in Watergrasshill in County Cork. But I'm going to leave you there, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you can, and I'll chat to you all again next weekend for another video. We're out, guys. Chat to you next weekend. Thanks. Cheers. And how are you finding the karts? If there's any problems, you can talk to this man.
There are no problems, but if there happens to be, he'll sort us out.
Ah, very good, very good.
They're looking after us, to be fair now.
You deserve a t-shirt.
Hey, well, before that, I'm getting a t-shirt and a jacket.